Kings and Queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and of course, appreciated. So Israel is gradually becoming the superpower. We thought it was China, but it's like they are ready to go head on with China, to take that particular crown of becoming the superpower. So if you're holding a cell phone in your hand, you're holding a piece of Israel, according to Netanyahu, president of the Israeli state. And it's not far from the truth, because when you do some analysis, you do some going back, you do some investigation, you understand that what he's saying is the truth. In as much as the coupling of these phones is done in China, the brain behind this phone is from Israel. Now, you understand why we keep telling you here that Israel control the mainstream media. Like, if they want to get on you, they will. And this is a reason why most, African creators who really are against what Israel is doing, especially not even what is happening between Israel and Palestine at this point, but knowing fully well that Israel is directly, subtly involved with the destruction of Africa and calling out Israel, you discover that creators like that are always, blacklisted by YouTube. They are always shadow banned by YouTube. And when they notice that you're against them, they will deal with you. That is exactly what I'm saying. I keep telling you here, time without number, that the Jewish state controls the mainstream media. The Jewish state controls what happens on the internet. They have that upper hand. And some of you will be like, why should a small group of people like that have a power over technology like this? It is because of what we're about to delve in. So we'll look a little bit into how Israel is gradually taking over this power from America. We know America is going down. And for some of you who do not believe this, a lot of political analysts have emphasized, they've analyzed this whole issue, that yes, in as much as America had ruled for the past decades, their time is gradually going, and this power is gradually shifting. So initially we thought this power was shifting towards China. The truth is that China has a deadly rival, and that is Israel. And for the past few days, we saw what was going down between China and Israel, how they're coming out on each other. And this and more I want us to look into and understand exactly what is happening. And it has a little bit of connection to the Jewish eschatology, because there is a belief in Judaism that there will be a time when Israel will fight against the whole world, and that God will give them this power to to deal with other people of other nations, and they will come out victorious. This is the belief. This is what they have. This is their belief. And I think they are working towards that, making every nation their enemy, doing all that they can to fight against everybody. We saw what happened recently at the United Nations summit, how, immediately Netanyahu came up on the stand, a lot of persons began to leave, and he claimed, he believes, he's saying it, that they are ready to fight head on with any nation that is going to come against them, or come, that is against them rather. So let's listen to some of these discussions, and then we'll take it up from there, Your Majesties.
Do you know your phone is made in Israel instead of China? Your iPhone, your Samsung, your itel, and much more. When Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "If you're holding a phone, you're holding a piece of Israel," he was not making false claims. Most of us assume our phones come from China because that's where the factories are. But the truth is deeper. Yes, China assembles the hardware, but the brain and the innovations inside your phone? Many of them come straight from Israel. Let me explain. Israel is called the startup nation. Despite being a very small country, it is one of the world's leaders in technology and innovation, and the smartphone in your hand is proof of that. First, take Intel chips. The processors that power most laptops and many phone systems were designed in Israel. In fact, Intel has huge research and development centers in Israel. and many of the chips inside your devices were born there. Second, flash memory, that little storage technology that allows your phone to save pictures, videos, and apps. The innovation behind it came from Israeli engineers. Without them, your phone wouldn't even have space to store a single photo. Third, camera technology. You love those sharp selfies and crystal clear videos, right? Much of the computational photography, the smart algorithms that make cameras sharper and smarter, were first developed in Israeli startups, and later bought or adapted by global phone companies. Fourth, cybersecurity and encryption. Every time you unlock your phone, make a payment, or protect your data, you're using technology that was heavily influenced by Israeli defense and cyber research. The same brains that built the Iron Dome defense system also shaped digital security that protects your smartphone today. And don't forget messaging and voicemail technology. Some of the earliest versions of these features were pioneered in Israel before becoming global standards. Now let's be clear. China's role is still massive. Most phones are assembled in China, in giant factories where millions of devices roll off the production lines every day. That's why you see "Made in China" stamped on your device. But being made in China doesn't mean the technology belongs to China. The true innovation, the ideas, the software, the chips, the security, comes from places like Israel, the United States, South Korea, and Japan. So when Netanyahu says that holding a phone is holding a piece of Israel, he means the invisible engine of your phone, the microchips, the storage, the software, the camera, the security. All of that is Israel's fingerprint on modern technology. Think about it. The small country of Israel, with less than 10 million people, has a hand in nearly every smartphone on the planet. From iPhones to Samsungs, from budget phones to high-end flagships, Israel's innovations are inside.
You see where Netanyahu got is coming from? Anyway, let's continue.
Do you have cell phones? Any? You have cell phones here? No? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? You know where that was made?
Israel is basically threatening the whole world. And to be honest, they've done things like killing people via phones before. Mossad carried out an attack on September 17, 2024 that killed 39 people and wounded 3,000, leaving more than 500 blinded by explosions. The method they enacted was explosives were pre-installed in pagers and detonated remotely. In the days after, similar blasts occurred in Lebanon, where walkie-talkies and wireless devices also exploded. Back on January 5th in 1996, Israel reportedly used a phone bomb device to kill a senior Hamas operative, Yahya Ayash, while he was on a plane. So, the claim goes, any phone containing Israeli-made components could potentially blow up its owner. Israel even uses shell companies to package phone parts as non-Israeli made. Otherwise, how could Netanyahu be so brazen in threatening the whole world? He even bragged that Israel shares intelligence with the United States.
Like intelligence, we share both with the United States. A good chunk of your intel.
See, Israel is ruthless. They can listen to whoever they want and blow up whoever they want. You are basically hostages of Israel. Luckily, I'm not. My whole family didn't use American or Israeli phones, so my phone probably an anti-Semite. But folks, remember this line. When God means to destroy a man, he first makes him mad. That old man looks like he can get crazier yet. Follow me an Eastern perspective to see the world.
This is getting serious and interesting, Your Majesties. Anyway, let's listen to our political analyst, Adam Mugaruba, and then we take it up from there.
This may sound like a bad news for some of you, but you know, since you have been following me, I'm a realist. I try to, as much as possible, say what I believe in. But the way situations of the world is happening today, we keep talking about the downfall of the United States as the world hegemon, as the superpower. Yes, this is happening. In fact, even more accelerated under President Donald Trump. But unfortunately, the inheritor of this power is not China, as most of you may like to believe. It is Israel. Despite all the atrocities and the issues that is happening in Gaza, Israel has successfully consolidated itself as the undisputed superpower of the global multilateral network. You know, we have two. The world is going to be bipolar. We are going to have the multipolar order and the multilateral order. And if you follow me, you will keep hearing that I keep insisting that we in Africa, we are better with the multipolar system than multilateral system. But the multilateral system has consolidated its base behind Israel 100%. And Israel was determined, was deliberate, and dexterous for decades before they reached this position. The Arab nations have been hypocritical for so long, masking and hiding behind religion by deceiving people while allowing their fellow Arabs to be destroyed by the same Israel in the name of luxury that they enjoy and the so-called security that is guaranteed to them by the United States. You knew what happened in Iraq when Iraq was systematically destroyed to advance the Israeli agenda in the name of the war on terror. You also knew what happened in Libya and in Syria. All these atrocities were committed by the approvals of the Arab countries in the name of trying to hide behind religion, war on terror, but the US is actually strategically working in the interest of Israeli lobby. Now, as I'm talking to you, all these press statements you see Arab countries are issuing when Qatar was hit by Israel directly is all rhetoric. They are waking up far too late when they are completely under the control of Israel. None of them can do nothing in the Middle East without Israeli cover. And all these Arab leaders are known, they are being tracked, they are being monitored, and they have also a time bomb sitting under their seats or under their beds. Whenever Israeli wish to take any of these Arab leaders out, they will do so right now. They have demonstrated it by how they took over the leadership of Hezbollah and the leadership of Hamas, wherever they find them. So what they are doing is just crying out of fear of the imminent death that is facing them, than out of sympathy for what is happening in Gaza. So forget about their tears, are all mostly crocodile. They have been conquered and have been cornered. Similarly, this is what is happening in Europe. Europe seems to forget about history, and Israel is acting on the bank of its historical antecedents, and they are coming with the vengeance of what has been done to them throughout history. Remember, all the sackings of Israel historically was done by the Europeans. Israel was colonized several times by Rome, dehumanized by Rome, and subjected to slavery by Rome. In fact, some of the major followers of the Israeli doctrine, especially post-Jesus Christ, were evacuated into Europe and have been converted into slavery. And several European monarchs and kings make it a duty to prosecute the Jews and push them into difficulty and suffering. In fact, it was the Jews that formed the ghettos. That is why they pushed them out of town and put them in shanties and named the place ghettos. But they resisted and fought back and became dominant force. The last person that attempted, who is also a European, to wipe them out was Adolf Hitler during the Second World War as a result of the Holocaust. Yet, the Israelis were able to resist it and come back to find their land. You think, as a European, that they will forget the atrocities you did to them? If you think so, you are joking. So all the press statements that the European leaders are issuing, they are going to recognize the state of Palestine, that they are calling what Israel is doing is genocide after supporting them continuously for over 80 years, is all a cry of a dying man who is grasping for a breath. But the truth of the matter is, all of them are under the control of Israel. The US instrument of power is completely subjected to Israeli lobby, and there is nothing Americans can do because their state is captured.
All right, Your Majesties. Now, I want us to do an intensive discussion about the Jewish eschatology. So that would be in another video, but let's just wrap this up. There were some words Adamu Garba used, and I want to quote him. He talked about achieving what they want to achieve, hiding behind religion. So these superior powers, from time immemorial, have been achieving all that they have been achieving because they have been hiding behind religion. So they come to you in the name of religion, make you do things in the name of religion. But the real aim behind that is just to get your emotions together so that you can work for them. It's not basically because of the religion per se, but they are using religion as a tool. Do you really not understand why I keep talking about religion is being used as a tool to destroy us? You now understand. Because from time immemorial, we can see how these people always hide behind religion to execute their plans. And any of their plans that they execute hiding behind religion is so swiftly done. And they get the result that they want because religion is the best tool to execute these plans of theirs. Anyway, I want us to ponder over this. Maybe you rewatch the video, share this with your friends, your loved ones, and then you leave your thoughts, what you think about this whole situation right now, the statement that Netanyahu made, where do you think his gods are coming from? Because while I sat down and thought about this whole thing, while I was, doing some research about this very discussion, I just discovered that this is a reason why, you see, Netanyahu can go anywhere, say whatever he want to say to, maybe to Donald Trump, to Xi Jinping, to any other leader of the world, to even to Putin, going head on, fighting head on, and you ask, where are the gods of these people coming from? They know where their gods are coming from. If they really want the war to finish in a moment, they know what to do. With the cell phone in your hand, they can destroy you totally. So they have their backings. They have suddenly processed everything, put themselves in the middle of your life where they know that you cannot erase them from. These are the people of God. These are the people that my brothers and sisters call on their God to protect them. Israel already have, established their protection system from time immemorial. The Israeli state or the Israeli government have, processed their protection system. Their God, they know who their God is. They know what their God is. But my Africans over here are praying for the God of these people when these people already have created their God already from the beginning. So they are not seated waiting and calling on any God. They have used their hand to fashion their own God. They have used their hand to make themselves look like demigods before people, so people fear them. But my Africans are not working on anything, but they are calling on the God of these people. Anyway, what do you think? I'll leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always. Your Majesties. Bye for now.